Ladies and gentlemen, all the ships at sea, we are back again. I know we're only doing this every 2 weeks now, but that way I can spend more time giving some more quality content. So we're going to go ahead and start this off. This is supposed to be about, are we in a market correction? And no matter how you put it, we are in a slight market correction. And let's go ahead and just concentrate on the Las Vegas market, see what happened last month, and we're going to try to break it down. And as you know, I always like to do this live. I don't even want to know what the numbers are before I start. That way, I can be totally surprised, just like you. So let's go ahead and start it off here. So let's go to our 7 days. And as you've noticed, or if you haven't, you see right here, new listings, they have increased again. So new listings keep going up because more and more sellers are starting to go, okay, I'm hitting the top of the market. I want to go ahead and put my house on the market. Now, if you look, 284 back on the market, no, it's about par of the course. A lot of these people are coming back on the market for one of those reasons that's starting to cause our little issue here, which is, of course, we have a rising interest rate, and that is pricing a lot of people out of the market. Yet there is still a market, and it's not crashing yet. Price decreases. This is amazing. You need to keep this number in the back of your head, 1411. You know what? I'm going to put it in the back of my head here too. I'm going to make a note of it, just in case I have to use it a little bit later. So 1411. Price decreases. Price increases. Makes no sense in today's market, of course. Under contract, show and no show, 285 and 561 respectively. Sold is actually up quite a bit from last week. The only real difference is you notice that it is less than the new listings. So we are coming to a more normal market, and we'll speak on that in a second. Expireds are actually up, but this was the beginning of a new month, and expireds usually tick off because agents will normally set the end of the month as their contract expiration. And July 1st is like the largest number of expireds for the year. Now, surprisingly, it's only 153. So that kind of tells you something because I'm going to tell you, a couple of years ago, this would have been 1,500. That's right, 1,500. Okay, and let's go ahead and take a look at that. Pique my curiosity. So as you can see, I don't know if you noticed this, a lot of these were actually withdrawn from the market prior, and they are now coming expired. Because of the way the contract works, if you withdraw it from the market, it is still under contract. You just withdrew it from the market. That's to protect the agent from, stuff like people going in like, hey, um, because I'm not gonna lie, this crap happens. Oh, what your agent listed your house for X%. You know what? I'll do it for even less. Try to get out of that contract. Trust me, it's happened. It happens every day. This is real cutthroat business, and people will do whatever they want and lie as much as they can, even if you're under contract. Uh, people do things, okay? But when you look at this, the majority of them were withdrawn withdrawn conditionally. So that's what happened. So really, we don't have that many expiring because the houses are actually selling. Now let's go ahead and do that analysis we are talking about with uh, new listings coming on against the solds. Okay, so solds are actually back to where we were a few weeks ago prior to uh, things going crazy with the interest rates, or maybe a couple of months ago. So we're actually back to there. The difference is now about 30% more people, actually about 50% more people. My math is correct. I believe it is. 50% more people are listing their homes now with the same number of buyers we had before. Now, some, I don't know, it's like one of those gifts. People will wish for something and wish for something. And when they get it, then they start going, I want more. So everyone wanted more listings to come on so we wouldn't have, $40 and $50,000 offers over list price and people having to come up with that money out of their pockets. And when we get it, then people start going, well, I'm going to sit on the fence for a bit. That's what's so funny. Now, the chickens are starting to come home to roost because the sellers, they're not going to have the kind of competition they had just a couple of months ago, which I can't wait to see this play out. It's going to be really interesting. And the ones who are being punished are the people who are putting their homes on the market now, because people who did that and held all the cards, they got their money, they got theirs. Uh, if you look at these price decreases, they're just going up and up, and it's because of people who did what people did a couple of months ago, overprice their house because they knew they could get something for it. Well, it's not working anymore. Let's go ahead and get those stats up. So let's go ahead. We're going to go to residential. Hold on a second here. I want to make sure I got this up. And we are going to, so we got more than 5,000. Let's go ahead and center this down to Las Vegas. Sorry, Boulder City. Okay. And now let's go ahead and look at the overall market. Just so many, it wouldn't tell us that because so many houses are coming on now. So it's amazing the number of houses. So let's look at these stats. Okay, that is the highest number of actives I've seen in well over a year. So we are now looking at 6,578 active listings with the, oh, I do apologize. I see where I messed up. And yes, I messed up. Hold on. I got to put my dates in. First of all, that's active. Well, we actually know that now. So we had 6,500, 1,400. So what about 25% of the houses on the market had a price adjustment? So that's cool. Now let's go ahead and put in, we're looking at the sold. Remember, the board has not put out their stuff yet, so I'm just going a little early. There we go. So 3,063 sold last month. We'll compare that against the previous month. These numbers are going to come out pretty darn close to what the board puts out. So let's go ahead and get our results. What we get here. And we had oh, this is interesting. Average close price of 515 with an average list price of 517, which means houses are starting to sell for less than the list price. Okay, that's kind of amazing. Let's see. Close price on everything was 440 uh, for the median, 5,000 over the list, which is about 435. Let's go ahead and start breaking it down by type. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with condominiums. Okay, average 257, which is actually higher than the list of 255. Median 258. May as well call it 259, and over 246. And I said 249 over 246. Let's go back. Let's take a look at the next one. We're going to skip manufactured housing for now, unless somebody wants to see it. And let's get it here. And single family 584, 586. So single family houses are starting to sell for less than median to 476 compared against 475. May as well break it there. And let's end this with the townhomes, and then we'll compare them against last month so we see if the market is correcting. Okay, we'll call it 340. Yeah, 340 and 340. So yeah, interesting little parity. Let's go on back here. And let's look at these numbers and compare them to last month. So back to single family houses. Yeah, I'm starting to realize it's 4th of July, so more people are probably out popping fireworks or something. So we'll see what happens on this one. Okay, so the average, let's start with the median. Median was 476. Let's compare that against last month. Oh my goodness. The median price has come down. Median price has come down on single family homes. Let's check the average. Okay, this was unexpected. So last month the average was 575, 576. This month 584. So the average close price actually went up. Interesting, but the median went down. Now, according to all the prognosticators, median is the one that is the most accurate because we did have you see there that multi-million dollar home sold. So let's take a look at the condos and townhomes together because that's how the board puts them together. Let's look at those results. So average of 280. I'm sorry, median. I keep saying that. Drum roll, please. 285. Huh. The price has actually come down. So that's good news for those of you who are looking to purchase anything because it's come down. Let's go back here and let's check. Actually, I should have been in the same place. Oh, okay. So let's look at averages. So the average was 305 last month. Let's see what the average is this month is. Oh my. Look at that. 292.2. So you can go ahead and put that out there that housing is starting to hit a reflection point. It's interesting because fundamentally we are still in a seller's market. based upon all the fundamentals, which is the months of supply of inventory. So let's figure out where a month's supply of inventory are right now. So we're going to have to go back. This is what's so fun about doing it all live. No numbers to hide, no BS to have. So we'll start with, actually, no, we use the entire market. So 3,063 were sold. Now we're going to look at the actives, which won't even show because there's so many now. But I can get them from the stats. So we have 6,578, which is still one of the highest numbers I've seen in quite a while. So this is getting interesting here. So let's go ahead and put that in. Let's look at the math. So 6578 divided by 3063. We now have 2.1. I don't believe I did that. I'm sorry. I apologize because I wasn't looking at myself. So we have 6,578. Let me write that down so I don't forget it because I want to show you the math. I don't want to lie to you. That's what's available. That is what's active right now. And we go back and we break this down to the number sold. So the formula is basically the number active divided by the number sold. So look here. Why is that so low? Okay, let's clear this up. Okay, let me make sure my map is right. My map is right. Let's just do this all over again because something ain't right. Okay, let's see what sold last month. Okay, let's limit that down to Las Vegas to keep it all fair. And I must have pulled a few more little areas in there because that shows me 3188, but that's what I'll use now. A little bit, but you know what? Let's just use it. Let's bring in the calculator here. So we sold 6578 divided by 3188. And well, now it shows about 2.06. So a little over 2 months of inventory, which is among the highest inventory we've had in a couple of years. So the market is reversing. Because look, just last month, 1.2 months of inventory, zero point 0.9 months. If I take this back just a little, we'll see that it's been going up. So we have had some changes, and yep, CC7 it did go down. Hold on 1 second. I'm going to get right back to you. Sorry about that. Somebody was at the door, and then they were taken care of really quickly. So, yep, the median did go down. That's for June. So we are having a reversal in the market right now, which even with 2 months of inventory, normal inventory, believe it or not, is 5 to 6 months of inventory, and we are to two now. Let me do what I was trying to do there. I'm going to go back just a few months. just to show you where we were. So, like in January, and this time I'm not going to mess up. So, January, zero point 0.9, 1.4. Now, if we go back a year ago, let's see where we stood. So, let's go back to, wait a minute, let's see. Yeah, I actually put the wrong one. That's January of last year. So, I'm sorry about that. Let's put January of this year in there. Okay, January of this year, zero point 0.7, zero point 0.5. So half a month of inventory. It actually got down less than that at one point. So it's good to look at the January. So look, zero point 0.9, 1.4. Let's go back even further. So let's go back to prior to this pandemic. So this is probably the last month I would say that things were affected here in Nevada. So let's see where we were before the pandemic. So May of 2020. I'm going to use that because those numbers would have been for April. No, actually, it would have been for May. Never mind. Oh, right before the pandemic began. Look at this. May 2020, 3.4 months of inventory, 4.8. We're at 2. Now, I can break this down a little bit further for you guys. But let's keep doing this. Nice little exercise. So let's see. July of 2020, where were we? Now, this July of 2020 is kind of unfair because this is where people were trying to fill things out. We're afraid that we're going to be on lockdown forever, and people actually did pull back. You didn't know what was an essential worker and everything else. So let's see. Why can't it be a little faster? Huh. Okay. So uh, I stand corrected on that. Look at that. 1.4, 2.3. Yeah, you know what prices were doing then. So people have kind of like lost their collective memory. So we have a tighter housing supply than January of 2020. Um, Pretty fair on par. If I go and break this down, I bet you would be on par to when stuff started getting nuts. And we know how long things have been nuts. Yet people have the exact opposite reaction. So the sellers are now panicking. They're trying to throw their houses on the market as fast as they can. So we got a little panic there. And the buyers are going like, "Oh, market's about to fall." So they're holding back. I keep hearing that over and over again. Remember, there are fundamentals. Yet last month did not match with the fundamentals. And it's all this fear. So if you're a seller, I think the buyers are going to continue to have fear, and you're going to continue to have more competition. So it's one of those you should have listed it last month. For buyers, this may be a good time for you. I've already discussed this about getting closing costs and all these other things. You can get closing costs now. Uh, I mentioned this in a video I did, I believe went out on Tuesday. Where's it come out this? No, it was on Tuesday. Lender was talking here in Las Vegas, and he said that 50% of the contracts that came across his desk that week had seller concessions. And we talked about seller concessions. That's closing costs. So closing costs are back. So for sellers, don't expect a whole bunch of offers on your house like you had before. So if your neighbor Chad sold his house for 30,000 over, I'm pretty sure unless your house is a Cinderella unicorn, which people are still bidding on Cinderella unicorns as far as I know, but you don't have 30. You may have 5, but you had 5 before the pandemic started for the Cinderella corn houses. You know what I'm talking about. And it just is what it is. Your house is normal, expect for it to be on the market a normal time, which is going to be a little bit longer. As a matter of fact, let's see last month what housing did for the amount of time on market. So, wish I'd grab the correct amount there. So, let's see for condos, amount of time on market was, so we can kind of see where the trends are. Average was 16, median was 8. Let's go back. Let's check out the single family. So still, they're still moving. They're still moving. It's just not as with many offers as you had before. Single family. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. 17 and 8. So the average is 17, but the median is 8. So I would go with the median right now. So don't expect to be, 1 or 2 days. Expect to be a week, week and a half. I would book for 17 days if or 2 weeks at least if you put your house on the market right now. One of the things is it creates an issue where there is a little less urgency, a little less for the buyers. And now let's finish it up with the townhomes. Bada bing. 16 and 9. I mean, fairly close there. So days on market have gone up just a smidge, just a smidge. Prices have gone down, and we are where we are. We'll have to see what happens this month. It'll probably be an interesting month as people become more emboldened, aka the buyers become more emboldened. So I would expect to see hopefully a flattening because in reality, you don't want it to go down. And here's the reason why because people will chase the bottom. When I mean by chase the bottom, they'll go like if it's like just this inflection point. Like I said, the board normally comes out with their numbers about the 6th or 7th, and that's when you start seeing stuff in the papers or on TV and News 8 and all those places. Well, when they show that the numbers have gone down, it's going to justify the people are saying they're sitting on the fence. Then they're going to sit on the fence even more, waiting for it to go down. It's kind of like the opposite of the sellers. So they're creating their own little, like we used to call saying the Air Force on staff, a self-licking ice cream cone. So the sellers will start to panic and say, I want to get as much as I can right now, and they'll start pushing it out. The buyers will say, well, I can wait and it's probably going to drop. So I'm going to sit back. So there are fewer buyers, more sellers. And then those days keep creeping up. And then the inventory creeps creeping up. So it becomes 3 months, 4 months, 5 months. And then when it flips, that's when you have your issue. So let's I don't know. It's a hard one. As a buyer, you can chase it down if you want. You may or may not hit the low point in it, but right now, it's people that are creating the issues. Even in a recession, of all the recessions, only 2 uh, had an issue with housing where it went down, and of course, the last one. So we're going to see some real interesting times here. So with that, I have gone over and I didn't share my screen because I wasn't looking at myself. I apologize again. If anyone wants me to go over the numbers again, just tell me and I'll actually show you my numbers because I like to show my work because I don't know, there's too much smoke and mirrors in this business. And I hate the smoke and mirrors. Nobody tells you where they get the numbers. It's like, hey, those are the numbers. And that's why everyone's so confused. I want you to see raw data. I don't even want to go over it before I come here because I want to give an analysis. So anyway, I'll wait for a second to see if anybody has any questions. And I do want to thank those who have been subscribing because I am about 5 away from actually hitting my goal that I've always wanted, which was 1,000 subscribers. I mean, it's like, okay, I'm 6 away. In reality, it was 4, and I lost 3 subscribers today. Amazing. No, I'm sorry, 2. So, lost those. I was hoping to have this to be a celebration. My next live stream, if I hit the 1,000, I'm gonna have a celebration. I've got some special announcements for my 1,000, and anybody who's a subscriber on that day is going to be in the drawing for something really, really, really nice. So, still no questions. CC7, I have not seen you here before. Thank you for showing up to the live stream. Okay. Well, with that, I will go through all of the customary stuff you're supposed to do here on YouTube. If you need any kind of housing assistance, my information, hopefully my assistant put it down there, is below. If not, go to the info tab. It's all there. I can help you with buying a house, selling a house, or making an investment. I do have folks working with me now, so I have a little more bandwidth to help folks out. Thank you, CC7. And of course, if you have not subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit the like, the thumbs up, and all that other stuff. Leave a comment, and hopefully, you can be a part of what I will have for my next live stream. And with that, I will bid you all adieu. And thank you, all those folks who showed up here live. And those of you who watch it later, you're going to be in the running. Okay. See you guys later.